Welcome to Syr Gwyn, and as far as our opening hand goes, we've got Fabled Passage, Isolated Chapel. Yeah, I kind of like this. It can demonic. Well, do we want to hold on to this? This is actually because we can demonic tutor. We'd almost have to tutor for some sort. But then we've got two pieces of spot removal. Yeah, let's just go and keep on this one. Hopefully, we draw into a few more lands. I was looking to maybe have a little bit more card advantage or something like that. But yeah, we've got tutor. We've got Sunforger. We can try to make this work. But yes, welcome to Syr Gwyn. Hope you're excited. Let's go ahead and lead off with, I guess, Isolated Chapel? Yeah, let's do that. That way we can kind of see what we want to grab with this Fabled Passage. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn over to our opponent. We are playing Syr Gwyn, Hero of Ashvale. Vigilance and Menace. Then whenever a quick creature you control attacks, you draw a card and lose one life. Then equipment you control have Equip Knight for 0 total ability, which is really nice. It makes those knights very happy. Playing gets Miss MRB. MRB does not untap during your untap step. Then for an activated ability, tap, gain control of target creature for as long as you control MRB. When MRB leaves the battlefield or becomes untapped, destroy that creature. It can't be regenerated. So there we go. Cover both commanders. Let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors, MTGOTraders. If you want to head on over there and join Syr Gwyn's cavalry crew, we're looking for some new people to ride some horses or maybe toss some swords to Syr Gwyn, whatever we can get going. And oh, excuse me, Fable Passage. In my head, I'm thinking Fable Passage was Prismatic Vista. I'm sorry. There's two brand new rare basic search tutor lands or whatever, and so in my head I was thinking it was Prismatic Vista. So that's going to enter the battlefield tap. So that will set us back just a little bit. Let's go and crack Fabled Passage, and we might end up demonic tutoring for like a. Opponent's going to go for Bazaar of Baghdad, which will definitely be interesting in an MRB deck. They can't even add mana to their mana pool. So we'll go and get this popped out, and I think if we're going to go demonic tutor on Phyrexian Arena, I kind of like that. Yeah. We'll have Swamp enter the battlefield and then anything else, pass it back over to our opponent. Yeah, sorry about that. Definitely a sequencing error on my part. But like I mentioned, there's so many new cards coming out. It's hard to mentally have a place for them in your head whenever you're playing. And so in my head, one of the ways that I can deliver commentary and talk at the same time and think about what we're going to do is I just see like brand new rare land card that grabs a basic. I'm okay, Prismatic Vista. And then I'm like, oh, that is not Prismatic Vista. That is Fabled Passage. So it's going to enter the battlefield tapped, unfortunately. Next turn, we can end up going for Demonic Tutor to grab Phyrexian Arena, and that allows us to kind of cash in a little bit of extra card draw. So we did cover both commanders. Oh, yeah, give a shout out to MTGOTraders. Give a quick shout out to inkgaming.com. If you need to head on over there, you can use coupon code JOLT to get 10% off anything off the website. So if you have not treated yourself in a long, oh, good goodness. We've got Iona. I just saw what was going on in the graveyard. That's not good. All right, so we need to get some stuff moving on our side. Let's go Demonic Tutor. Yeah, I think we're going to try to get lucky on this one. So let's go Demonic Tutor. Let's get Phyrexian Arena because that's going to give us a really nice, steady source of card draw. So let's go Demonic Tutor. Let's get this popped out. And let's go for Phyrexian Arena. There we go. That's going to go into our hand. And then anything else, pass it back over to our opponent. But yeah, be sure to check out inkgaming.com. Coupon code JOLT, 10% off the website. Or go to their actual search bar. Type in JOLT539 to see my merch booth. I've got some t-shirts and playmats set up over there. And last but not least, I started a Patreon. So if you'd like to contribute to the Patreon, there's a link down in the description below. Get your name at the beginning or the ending of the credits, or both, if you want to support cool content like this. And if you can't do that, hey, no problem. Just tell somebody about the channel. So we've got Dawnbringer on the battlefield. Beginning of your upkeep, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So we definitely don't have. Let's see if we hit the land for the turn. Come on, land. Oh, Cavern of Souls. That will get it done. All right, so we're going to name Cavern of Souls. We're going to name Knight off of this because we have the highest distribution of... I wasn't yelling at anybody. I was working on a thumbnail. If you're wondering why Knight was in all caps, that's why. So, all right, so our opponent's going to go for Reanimate. This is going to be a wonderful option for us. Black and then colorless. We're going to be able to destroy that permanent, and this is going to be them down to 21. If they've got counter magic, they've got it, but that would put them on only having, Dark Slick Shores available. So once we go for Vindicate, that should stop any funny business Lebowski from our opponent. So we'll pass that on over there. And, but yeah. Covered commanders, covered sponsors, it's officially free time. Let's have some fun. As far as this build of Syr Gwyn goes, this is pretty basic equipment Voltron build. One of my favorite things to do in commanders is to play a Voltron style deck, and with Syr Gwyn, we can certainly do that. And the fact that we're going to be able to have that equipped for 0, there's just a lot of times where if you've never built a Voltron deck, one of the things, I'm really scared about what's going on with our opponent. They're just They're just jamming Reanimator pretty bad, so we'll see if we can survive this one. This is not. We do have Iona in the graveyard, which is not going to be good. More than likely, probably see our opponent name Black. And in fact, you can see if they name Black, that's going to be very, very bad for us. But yeah, with this being a Voltron deck, the fact that you have the equip for 0, that is such a strong effect when you're building anything that's equipment based. It just makes it really easy to where almost like when you get down Blackblade or Forge, it's almost like your creature has haste. You know, we're going to be able to get that down for 2 mana. We can equip it for 0, and then it's going to get +1/+1 for each land that we control. So that's kind of another way that you can, if that makes sense when I'm talking about it being like a hasty creature, just the fact that you don't have to pay that equip cost. It just, it's like Reanimator. It just allows you to do something that wasn't intended because you're doing it a lot cheaper than what the game is going to dictate. So, and that's pretty nice. Let's see what you run into for the turn. Dragon Skull Summit, and that will enter the battlefield untapped because we do have a swamp. So let's go for Phyrexian Arena. It's going to be black and then one colorless off Cavern of Souls. Now, if we can get our artifact count up, we do have Dispatch in the hand, tap target creature. So, if we control 3 or more artifacts, we can actually use this Dispatch as kind of like a Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshare style effect. So that would be a good option for us. If our opponent does get down something pretty gnarly, we do have Hero's Downfall as kind of like a safety valve, but with Iona naming Black, that's pretty much going to be a good game once that comes down. Because if it's our opponent, we'll see what they end up naming, because if you're our opponent and you want to go for Iona, you kind of you put yourself in this position to where, do I want to name white with Iona to kind of stop Path to Exile or something like that, or do I want to name black to stop any sort of spot removal? So either way, and that's the other good thing is, especially with Iona on the battlefield, if we get our artifact count up, that does turn us on for Dispatch. So that may be something that we're going to try to start working towards. So Phyrexian Arena, run into Nomad Outpost and see what else we run into. Wheel of Fortune. Now, our opponents have been doing a ton of tutoring, and I'm tempted to go for Wheel of Fortune, because if they're grabbing some sort, well, then that's just going to give them a fresh grip, and what we've seen so far is not good. I'm afraid that's just really going to set them going. So let's make the lane drop for the turn. That's going to be Nomad Post, and let's just start working towards getting this artifact count. I think that's going to be the best option, because we can leave up Hero's Downfall, but it's not going to matter. Yeah, let's do that. So let's go for Blackblade Reforged. We're going to have that enter the battlefield. We are sitting at 5 total mana, so we can go for Sunforger next turn. Yeah, I'm just not wild about going for Wheel of Fortune. They've got 3 cards left in the hand. I know they've been tutoring for a lot of stuff, but based on what we've seen, we already see Grizzlebrand in the graveyard, Dawnbringer, Iona. I just feel like with the amount of tutors that we've seen, we're probably going to wheel them into something that allows them to bring everything back. So if they're digging right now, I don't mind that. Now, what they're grabbing with Grim Tutor and stuff like that, it could be, different options like Grizzlebrand. That might have been what they're actually tutoring for. So, but I feel like if they didn't have some sort of payoff card, I feel like they would have tutored up at least, maybe they're going for Living Death or something like that. Maybe that, well, I don't know if I'd put all my eggs in one basket on that. Anyway, talking more about our opponent's deck than ours, let's talk about Syr Gwyn. So we'll let them get this Bizarre Baghdad going. As far as the equipment in here, we're running pretty good amount of equipment in here. We got Sword of Fire and Ice, we got Sword of Feast and Famine, Sword of Sinew and Steel, Sword of Vengeance. So we have a lot of really good options for us to really, kind of put the hurt on our opponent. That's kind of what we're going for. And let me make sure we're not, like whatever that. Oh, what is it? Dread Return. Opponent's going to go for Exhume, so that's going to be Grizzlebrand, and that's going to allow them to draw 7 cards, and that's going to put them down to 9. Now, we will end up going for Hero's Downfall next turn, which I'm pretty okay with that. Hopefully we hit the land drop, because we can actually go Hero's Downfall into Wheel of Fortune, because at this point they've got a fresh grip with Grizzlebrand, and I don't think we really care about going for Wheel of Fortune. So, all right, so we draw into for the turn. That's going to be a land. Fingers crossed would be really nice. We can always Wheel of Fortune and hope we run into a oh, there we go, Fetid Heath. That is beautiful. All right, so let's go for Fetid Heath. Let's go for Hero's Downfall on Grizzlebrand. We'll see if our opponent wants to go for an activation in response to that. And then we're still going to be able to leave up Hero's Wheel of Fortune mana. So let's go Wheel of Fortune. At this point, we're just looking to get a few more, maybe Mana Crypt, Soul Ring, something. Oh, Damnation. That is exactly what we want to see. And then anything else, we'll go and pass the turn over to our opponent. Oh, and we hit a Living Death. off of that Wheel of Fortune. Yes, yes, yes. I will definitely take that. So this is a very interesting game so far. We do run into Swiftfoot Boots, which does give us the option of going for Syr Gwyn, giving the haste option. And so what we'll probably end up doing is getting down, because we would just want to set up a really explosive turn if possible. So we're going to go for Swiftfoot Boots. It's going to be Sword of Sinew and Steel. And then outside of that, we just got a bunch of lands. Now, the other good thing that we do have is Rogue's Passage. That's going to allow us to make sure that Syr Gwyn is unblockable. So in this particular matchup, hopefully there's just a lot of a lot of funny business going on our opponent's side of the battlefield, even though it's not. But yeah, there's just when you see this much stuff in the graveyard, and it's like turn 7 and half their library's in their graveyard, that's not something we really want to run into. So opponent's going to go for Dark Petition, but at least at this point we still have Damnation as a backup plan to kind of stop any sort of weird stuff from our opponent. I did cover the swords we've got in here. Outside of some of the utility stuff, we are running like not too many knights in here. You know, typically if I'm building a deck that cares about they're going to search your library for a graveyard card, put that into their graveyard. Now, if you're asking, if we run into a tutor and they're like, Jolt, why don't you just grab a Rest in Peace over there? Hey, I don't run graveyard hate. I never have, and I just don't really do it. So we don't have graveyard hate in here. Could have put Bajuka Bog, but I actually didn't put it in here. So I love seeing graveyard stuff. I like playing around it. Is it a good decision to not run graveyard hate in decks? Yes, it is not good. That is, I'm gonna agree. That's not what you should be doing. But hey, all right. Opponent's gonna go for Animate Dead on Avacyn. I think, is that right? They give you indestructible. So we do have some exile stuff. We got Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshare. We might be able to get some good stuff going on our side. And if they're just gonna race with Animate Dead, then we can make some good stuff work on our side, especially that protection from black and red. That'll be pretty nice. So let's see what we draw into. Yeah, but I never run graveyard hate. I just not a fan of it. Ooh, run into Utter End. All right, so let's go for Utter End on Avacyn. We're going to exile Avacyn. Yeah, because we don't want that to stick around. That's not going to be good for us. So let's make sure we can, we can leave up enough mana. So that's going to be black. We're going to split this one down the middle. We're gonna go Utter End on Avacyn. Even if we don't get any good night stuff going right now, the fact that we're just kind of like taking this Esper Reanimator deck for taking it for a spin, I kind of like that. So, all right, we're gonna exile Avacyn. We don't have to worry about that anymore. I think at this point, probably want to go for Swiftfoot Boots. That's going to be pretty crucial to us, making sure that we can get some good damage in. And if we're going to end up going for that, let's go ahead and get the Scry going and the Scurry, the Fever, the Insanity, the Descent into... All right, ooh, Jitte. I think Jitte is a good option. Yeah, because that's really going to allow us to clear some stuff out on our opponent's side. So anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. Like I mentioned, we got a lot of equipment in here. Typically, when you're building a Voltron deck, one thing that you do want to do is you want to have backup Voltron threats. You want to have, let's say, Syr Gwyn is 6 total mana. That is a pretty good chunk of mana. Once we get down Syr Gwyn, if something happens to it, it goes to the command zone. You want to be able to get down another threat and be really aggressive if possible. And so one thing that we can do is we're running like Kinsblade Cavalier. That's going to give us, what just happened? Oh, they sacrificed Bloodghast. I was looking at my deck list on the second monitor, and so when I see something out of the corner of my eye, okay, so let's see what they decide to choose with Iona. They choose white, so that's going to give us Damnation. Heck yeah. I'll take it. All right, so we're going to go Phyrexian Arena. We're going to draw into that Jitte. We run into Badlands, so let's go just right off the bat. We're just going to Windmill Slam this one down right now. We're going to go Damnation. Destroy all creatures that can't be regenerated. That's going to send those into the into the graveyard. And so we've still got. We need to dump Sword and Jitte onto the battlefield. But I think at this point we just probably want to go Jitte. So let's do that. So let's go Jitte. We're still going to leave up Nomad Outpost. We're going to go for Temple of Malice. Even if we don't win, I've just had a blast just being able to answer all these threats on the battlefield so far. So let's go Temple of Malice. Command Tower, definitely want to put that on the bottom. And then anything else, pass it back over to our opponent. So Syr Gwyn does cost 6 total mana. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that does give us just enough mana to get down Syr Gwyn. Once we make the land drop, that'll also be Sword of Sinew and Steel. So we're going to be able to get some really nice stuff going for next turn. We'll see what sort of board state state they assemble, eventually they've got to run out of some sort of way to keep bringing these creatures back at some point. But yeah, this feels good. It's just kind of like one of those moments where like you just block everything they're doing and it feels really good. But as far as those backup Voltron pieces, we are running Armory Automaton, which is wonderful for this deck. We can go for Armory Automaton, equip all the equipment on the battlefield onto Armory Automaton. And so you can see right now, if we just draw into it, we would just put it down and be able to swing across and deal some pretty good damage. Now our opponent is just looking at Bloodghast and Expedition map, so now's the time for us to get some really good damage in. We're going to be able to go for Sword. That's going to be destroy target Planeswalker or up to one target artifact. But once we get down Swiftfoot Boots, we're going to be able to really start picking apart our opponent. Oh, and especially with Swords of Plowshare. Ho ho. This is some good magic. So let's go for Badlands. Oh yeah. Let's go for Syr Gwyn. That's going to be white. That's going to be black, and that's going to be red. Let's go Syr Gwyn. That's going to make sure that Syr Gwyn cannot be countered. I don't know what they could draw into, but we'll at least kind of stop it there. So let's go Swamp, Fetid Heath, and then Badlands. All right, so we're going to have Syr Gwyn enter the battlefield. We're going to be able to get Swiftfoot Boots onto Syr Gwyn. That's going to give it haste. And then we're going to be able to go for Uazama's. I don't know what they could do. They're looking at Bizarre Baghdad, so we should have the coasts clear on this. We're going to go for Jitte. We're going to go for Blackblade Reforged. Oh, this is beautiful. I'm loving this. We're going to go for Sword. Going to have Sword enter the battlefield. Let's go Sword for 0 onto Syr Gwyn. Win or lose, we've already won in our hearts. They're sitting at 8. And, oh yeah, excuse me. I was thinking about trying to deal commander damage. They're just sitting at 8, so we're going to be able to get this one. So let's go and push in with Syr Gwyn. Oh, look at this. Protection from black. We're going to cash in an extra card draw and lose a life, which doesn't really matter at this point. Run into Boros Charm, and look at Syr Gwyn. Just imagine Syr Gwyn running across the battlefield with Sword of Sanu, Blackblade, Uazama's Jitte. There we go. Knock our opponent down to -8. We were able to hold off the Esper Reanimator as much as possible. If you were keeping score at home during the game on this one, definitely want to give a big shout out to the Magic Gods for giving us that utter end and just giving us answers all the way across. This was just very, very nice. It was a very good game. Great showing of Syr Gwyn. I built this deck not heavy Knight Tribal, but more of kind of control, and then we get down Syr Gwyn to kind of do the cleanup duty once the battlefield is just kind of left in pieces, and that's exactly what just happened. So, great showing of Syr Gwyn. If you're looking for a fun Voltron commander to build, hey, go for it. And if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.